Good morning, it is Jane with Scraptastic Ignore the hair. It's being a little crazy today, what can I say? Just whack-a-doodle, it's that time of year. Get the hair cut and it just goes crazy. Okay, on today's hashtag 50 Gone by 2024, we're going to talk about meal prep. But before we do that, let's do the medical disclaimer, okay? Always check with your physician before starting any exercise program or diet regimen. Information here is my personal research into different health topics and is not to be considered medical advice. There you have it. One of the things that I have found that has helped me the most in my weight loss journey is to actually do some meal prep. And, you know, lots of times we always think that's this huge big thing, but it's almost vital when you are trying to lose weight to do some kind of meal prep so that you're prepared, so you don't fall back on that, oh my goodness, I don't have anything planned and I don't know what to eat and what am I going to do, and then you blow it because you go overboard with eating or snacking. So today I thought I would present a few suggestions about meal prep. I do a lot of meal prep around breakfast because now I don't always eat breakfast, but there's one thing I do like to do is I do make what I call egg cups. And eggs are pretty versatile when you use them in conjunction with weight loss. It's a complete protein. It's a high protein, so it's a good choice. But when you're doing meal prep, you want to make sure that you have sat down and thought about the recipes that you want to use to meal prep. Do you want to meal prep the entire recipe? Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to do just partial of it, like, chop up all the onions, bell peppers, celery, whatever you're going to add into your meals or, your cooking for those kind of things. Those you can freeze ahead of time if you want in small baggies. Generally what I will do is I will put them in a regular, sandwich baggie, and then I will actually use a freezer bag for the entire group of them. Because lots of times, now that I'm single, an onion can do me 1 or 2, maybe even 3 meals chopped up easily, and these are meals that I'm going to have leftovers with. So it's easier to bag them up into smaller portions, put them into a large Ziploc freezer bag, and, put them in the freezer that way to be used later on. And it's a much faster way of preparing things. I have in the past, I have done, the whole fixing everything, the meal together, like, browning 10 pounds of ground beef, in it having the onions, bell peppers, celery, whatever it was that I was going to have in it, then portioning it out for different meals, and then putting in the other ingredients with that and sealing it up, so that all I have to do is take it out, put it together, throw it in the oven or put it in the crock pot, let it, finish doing whatever it's going to do, and then I've got a nice, easy meal. Done that with my children as we were growing up, those kind of things. But some meal prep ideas for weight loss. You want to make sure that you have a lot of containers. These can be anywhere from canning jars to just plastic containers, salad bowl jars, those kind of things. So keep that in mind. It's a very easy way to keep yourself on track. Now, I like to use canning jars, but I've also used, pickle jars, those kind of things, anything that another lid, a canning lid, will fit onto, um, you rewash those, reuse them. In our area, we are no longer able to recycle glass, which glass is one of those things that can be recycled over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I find that kind of disheartening, that we can't continue to recycle. But this is a way for me to recycle and use those jars. Canning jars are great. Mason jars are great for doing some of these meal preps, because some of them you'll find are fairly easy. And one of the easiest ones is one of what they call the salad bowls, where you'll take your mason jars for maybe 3 or 4 days. You've got your cut up lettuce, your tomatoes, onions, whatever you're going to put in your salad. It's all ready. You put them in the jar, you seal it, and it's good for, I think, 7 days is what I remember reading somewhere. And you've got everything in that container. Then the only thing you have to add is your dressing. You can shake it up in the container, pour it out onto a plate or a bowl if you want, and you've got an easy salad meal ready to go. Now, I do like, one of the things that I like is what I call a Big Mac salad. And generally when I do that, because I am following a ketogenic diet, I do make my own dressing so that it doesn't have a lot of sugars and additives, those kind of things. But there are times that, yes, I've just used Thousand Island dressing for the Big Mac sauce and just put that on top of the salad. This is a great salad to have. Generally it consists of ground beef that's been browned, chopped up pickles, onions, tomatoes if you want tomatoes. I don't always put tomatoes on mine. Some cheese, your sauce, and it tastes like a Big Mac. It's delicious. Taco bowls, same thing. You can put everything for your taco salad into those mason jars. Then all you need to add is salsa, if that's what you're going to use, some sour cream, those kind of things for toppings. Mix it all up. Easy meal. But we have a few other ones. What about a Greek chicken meal? I mean, if you're going to do a Greek chicken meal, some of the things that you're going to add are, like onions, olives if you want, chopped up cucumbers, tomatoes, a little feta cheese, cauliflower rice. That's because I am following keto diet. If you're not, you could use rice, chicken breast, lettuce, tzatziki sauce, either prepared or one that you make yourself. And if you're not into cooking the chicken, that kind of stuff, use a rotisserie chicken. Shred up the chicken meat and use that for some of these meals. I do that sometimes too because it's quick, it's easy, and I like the flavor. You make yourself an anti-pasta plate. That's hard to say. You can do that, have it set out in plastic containers so that it's ready to grab when you're ready to eat, those kind of things. Crustless quiche. The ingredients for this are endless. The only thing is you don't use flour in it, you use egg as your binder. And generally, if you make a quiche, you've got several servings. So those are some real, simple ideas. Fish taco bowls. Now, I don't normally like fish taco, but if you do, that's certainly an option as well. Chicken tacos, same thing. The other thing is if you want to actually use it, like lots of times I'll make a chicken taco mix, and generally I will just put that on a low-carb tortilla. But I have my mix ready to go, so I can throw it onto a salad, throw it onto the low-carb whatever, or throw it on top of some, for me, cauliflower rice or whatever you want. Easy peasy. Chicken and beef fajita plates, bowls. Now, I don't always like using pasta, simply because being diabetic, the pasta will raise my blood sugar almost instantaneously. But one of the things I like to do is I use zucchini noodles. Um, it's amazing that you can actually freeze those if you want. And I do that sometimes, where I will freeze them so that I just have to grab those and then lightly steam them, or even just lightly microwave them so that they're cooked through. You can use that in place of pasta, and that's endless too. Anywhere from chicken, beef, fish, shrimp, and an added sauce. I like shrimp scampi, and this is one of my favorite ways to have shrimp scampi, is using those zoodles, what they call them, or zucchini noodles, and making my, scampi sauce, adding the shrimp, and pouring that over those noodles, and it's good to go. Now, yes, sometimes I will add red bell peppers, some asparagus, whatever, vegetables in season to that, and you've got another complete meal. Okay, bacon, and eggs. That is a great thing with veggies. Um, Italian subs. Make those in a bowl with using just a lettuce wrap if you want, or just on top of your lettuce. Nice chopped up. That's a nice way to have a nice different salad. You can use dressing or no dressing, Lots of times I'll just eat that on top of salad without a dressing. Or you could wrap it in, like I said, lettuce, or even wrap it up in a low-carb tortilla, whatever you choose. Egg salads. Let's talk about egg salad. A lot of people will use just a basic egg salad, a little mustard, mayonnaise, with your eggs, salt and pepper. Don't be afraid to add some things. Add some chopped up celery, some chopped up onions, chopped up pickles, seasonings, anything like everything but the bagel seasoning in that. Change it up, make it a little different. And many times I will have just egg salad on top of sliced bell peppers instead of a bread. So, one real easy thing is making egg salad and then just putting it on top of a salad, or putting in a low-carb wrap, those kind of things. Lettuce wrap. How about buffalo chicken? Make a buffalo chicken salad and put it on celery, all kinds of things. Stuffed peppers. This is one of my favorite things to do. Stuffed peppers with ground beef, ground turkey, ground chicken, you name it. You can add all kinds of other things into it. The only thing I don't do is I do not add rice to these for me. But I will add cheese on it, those kind of things. You can make those ahead of time and then just grab them, go, heat them up, and eat. Easy things like chicken bacon ranch skillet. You can add vegetables, stir-fried vegetables. Stroganoff, that's pretty easy. And the great thing with stroganoff is you don't have to use noodles. Try either chicken or beef or turkey stroganoff on top of steamed broccoli or cauliflower. It's amazing. And you're getting your vegetables, and you're also getting, that nice protein. One of the things that I've seen lots of times is people will use bacon and cheese pinwheels. And I think those are interesting. And generally when I do that, that's usually just a snack here or there. Chicken and broccoli casserole. Same thing, the only thing is you're not going to use rice or pasta in it. Use use more vegetables in it, more broccoli, more cauliflower, green beans, zucchini noodles, you name it. But generally when I do my chicken and broccoli casserole, I will use a riced cauliflower with it. And then I do use a cheesy sauce in it. I mean, that's a comfort food for me. Stuffed avocados. Yeah, stuffed avocados. Now, I talked about egg cups. Now, with egg cups, you can make endless varieties with this. Endless. Generally, what I do is I will take like a dozen eggs and I'll mix in cheese with that, usually about a cup of cheese, sometimes a little more, just depending on how cheesy I want it. Now, this is where I may separate them out to separate things. Like, some of them I want maybe some spinach that's pre-cooked, onions and mushrooms to that mixture. So I'll set that aside, mix that with those kind of things. Also, bacon and ham thrown into some of it, sausage, mushrooms, onions, bell peppers. My sister tells me that she uses one where she uses broccoli in her egg cups. But, you've got a lot of choices there. You can do just veggie, those kind of things. And when you're thinking of this, also keep in mind, I know some of you have seen those scrambled egg kits, where it's everything's in the little cup, then you open it up, add an egg, and cook it. You can do the same thing with mason jars or small containers. Ramekin cups make great things for that. And yes, you can use ramekin cups to cook these, what I call egg cups in. Or one of the easiest things to do is to lightly grease a muffin tin. Or if you have silicone muffin cups, use those. And you're going to add your mixture into that, the egg, cheese, whatever you've added into your mixture. You're going to bake that for about 400 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes. And that's going to be judged by how large a muffin tin you used, how large you make these. Generally, I just will make a smaller one, and they wind up being about this tall. Not very tall. And those, once they're cooled, you can freeze those to just heat up later. Or many times what I will do, because, it winds up being that there are, because I use the smaller cups many times, I can have 2 per meal. And that's, I don't always do it for breakfast. Sometimes I have it for lunch with a side salad. Those are some easy ideas to consider using. One of the other things is maybe you want to do a ham, egg, and cheese breakfast quesadilla. I mean, and this one is really simple. Lots of times, what you want to do is you want to take, simple things like garlic, diced ham, chopped broccoli florets. This one I uses 4 eggs, and you're going to lightly beat that. You can add in some green onions, those kind of things. You can use your cheddar cheeses, whatever cheeses you have. And generally what I'll do is I'll add the garlic, cook it, then add in the ham and broccoli until it's about tender, 3 to 4 minutes. Then, of course, you're going to mix in the egg to that and, cook it until they just start to set. And then, of course, you do want to use your green onions as well. And then you're going to just layer that on your tortillas. Yes, you're going to put that layered onto your tortilla, half of it, fold it in half, and these you can actually place on a um, baking sheet, put them in the oven, and you're just going to cook them, probably about 400, 375 for about 5 to 6 minutes. You can turn them if you want, but generally you just want it to go until the cheese melts. Then you can actually put those into a meal container, you know. You can add berries if you want, those kind of things. So those are some easy tricks as well to use. One of the other things that I like to make is something, it's a frozen yogurt bark recipe. And this one you're going to use 2 cups of Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons of honey, um, diced strawberries, probably about a half to a third of a cup, sliced banana. You can use mini chocolate chips if you want. And for those of us that are low carb, low sugar, I use the no sugar Lily's chips for this. And then maybe a little bit of blueberry jam or jam of your choice. So what you're going to do is you're going to mix your yogurt and your honey. Then you're going to line an aluminum sheet pan with parchment paper. You're going to spread that yogurt mixture onto the sheet pan. Then you're going to arrange all your fruits and chocolates and jam, whatever, on top, wherever you want, or just, kind of swirl it in. You're going to freeze it. You can put it in the freezer, let it freeze, and generally that takes about 3 to 4 hours. And you can also cut those into pieces and serve it as yogurt bar. Delicious little treat. Those are some things that can do that are fun. You can use, I still eat oatmeal. That's one of the few things I do still eat. And find a recipe for some healthy baked oatmeals, where you can use different seasonings, mashed up banana, a little bit of maple syrup in with your old-fashioned rolled oats, and a little bit of milk or almond milk, whatever, little vanilla, some cinnamon, maybe a little bit of baking powder so that it'll help it. You're going to mix all that together with your fruits, if you want fruit in it, and then you're going to, put it into a pan and just cook it at 350 for probably about 35 to 40 minutes. 35 minutes is going to give you a softer set with it, and 40 to 45 is firmer, which you can, basically just eat like a muffin if you want. So yeah, those are some things you can do. Then what you're going to do is you let it cool, then cut them into serving sizes, and if you want, you can actually add a little more maple syrup, drizzle that across the top. Those last about 5 days in the fridge. So the only thing you don't want to do is make sure that you don't mix everything in advance and let it sit for a long time. You want to mix in your liquids and just really quickly then put it in your pan and let it cook. So yeah, there's a lot of other things that you can do, So those are just a few suggestions. I hope that they have given you a few ideas for some meal preps for during the week that you can do so that you'll stay on track with your meals. Like I said, you want to make sure that you are following whatever dietary plan you are following, and that the ingredients are good for that dietary plan and don't throw you overboard or, cause you to have all kinds of cravings. But yeah, those are just a few ideas, and I find that it's been extremely helpful along this weight loss journey. Plus, if you're preparing for a family, those kind of things as well, sometimes they don't want to eat what you're eating. So this is an option so that you can stay on track and still have something else for your family. All right, that is it for today's hashtag 50 Gone in 2024. And I hope you found a few ideas, come up with a few more of your own. Put some in the comments down below, and we can help each other on this journey. All right, that is it. See you guys again soon. Remember to be kind to one another if possible. Be a blessing to someone. Get out there and enjoy a little bit of exercise in the sunshine if you can. All right, see you guys soon. Bye.